What's going on, you guys? As we all know, for all of us movie lovers out there, the Oscars are just around the corner, and just like every year, the guys and I will be doing our predictions, meaning the films that we think are going to win, and the films we pretty sure are a lock to win for each category. Now, we're going to do things a little bit different this year, because as you all know, for the previous years, all of us have been in the same shot. This time around, it's going to be Joe going first with his predictions, then Lucas, then Alex, then myself. So, without any further ado, hold up. Background isn't right. Give me just one moment. Alright, much better. Alright, guys, let's start off everything. Joe, get your ass in here.
Well, it ain't gonna be Kong Skull Island. Nowhere. I want Blade Runner to win, but War of the Planet of the Apes is winning this one. Simply because they prefer War of the Planet of the Apes over Blade Runner. Because it made more money.
I'd like to see Star Wars, but I think it's gonna go to Apes on Horses 2, aka War for the Planet of the Apes. I just think how they did the visual effects this year, it's top notch. I don't think they're gonna really give it away for War of the Planet of the Apes.
I would love to see Guardians of the Galaxy go 2 for 2 in this category because they won it back in, I believe, 2014? 2015. So I'd love them to go 2 for 2, but I think it's going to go to Star Wars.
What I want to win is Blade Runner. I feel like that film had the best visual effects of last year. However, I do agree with Joe's statement that I think that War of the Planet of the Apes will win this because, unfortunately, Blade Runner didn't make enough money. War for the Planet of the Apes, however, made a lot. So, what I think should, Blade Runner was my favorite film of last year, but I feel like Apes is going to take it.
Will and should Phantom Thread. Because a movie about making dresses, if that can't win costume design, then something is wrong. Totally wrong.
I don't even know what the heck Victoria Abdul is, but Will and should Shape of Water. How they did the merman costume. I don't know how you can really bet against that.
What I think should win is Darkest Hour, but what I think will win is Phantom Thread because the main character is a costume designer, or a dressmaker, and, yeah, woodcock.
Now, originally, I was gonna say Will and should Darkest Hour. However, I saw Phantom Thread finally, and I think Will and should the Phantom Thread. That film's costume design was immaculate, to say the least. Seriously, the costume design in that film, incredible. Will and should Phantom Thread.
Darkest Hour, will and should, because the other two movies, who remembers those? To be quite honest.
Will and should Darkest Hour because even though I haven't seen Darkest Hour, I think they did a fantastic job with how they made Gary Oldman look like Winston Churchill. I'm sorry, I'm working the whole time. I haven't had a chance to see all the movies.
Darkest Hour, will and should, simply put. I haven't seen the other two.
Will and should Darkest Hour. Gary Oldman looked like Winston Churchill. Enough said.
It's gotta be something from The Greatest Showman because it was the only musical. But the one thing that made me cry was the Coco song, so I gotta go with Remember Me.
Will and should This Is Me. This is me. This is me. I'm sorry, I love that song. Like, I just think it, even though I liked Remember Me, I think This Is Me is just so much better. Much more catchy.
Will and should Remember Me. That song made me so emotional. I cried like a baby when main character's name sang it to Coco at the end of the movie. That made me cry like a baby. That will and should win Remember Me from Coco.
What I would love to win is Remember Me. That song brought me to tears. But what I think is going to win is This Is Me. Now here's the thing. I haven't seen The Greatest Showman, but everything from I've been hearing about that song, I feel like it's a lock for Best Original Song. But I want Coco so badly. But I have to give it to This Is Me.
Will and should Shape of Water, because that was the only score that I actually remember, and I still fondly remember, because, God, were those sex scenes amazing. I'm just kidding.
You sick mother F.
I think I'd like to see three billboards, but it's gonna go to Star Wars. You can't go wrong with John Williams. You really can't.
Should win Dunkirk. Will win Star Wars The Last Jedi because it's John Williams and he is the GOAT of scores.
Will and should Apes. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't nominated. That should have been nominated. God, this is a tough one because all these are honestly good scores. But, God, I want Dunkirk to win this. But I feel like it's gonna go to Shape of Water because the score in that film, I will not lie, was just majestic. But if Dunkirk does win, I'll be ecstatic. So what I think should win, Dunkirk, but what I think is going to win, Shape of Water.
Shape of Water will and should, because no other movie looked as good as that movie did.
I would definitely like to see it go to Shape of Water, but I think it's gonna go to Blade Runner 2049. It's just really hard to bet against it, honestly.
Will and should The Shape of Water, because I think that movie was absolutely, like, this is like the set design, right?
Production design.
Production, yeah, set design. So it was basically like set in like the old school, like 1950s, like Cold War sort of era, and it's like underground. It's so beautiful to look at. That's what it was. It's a beautiful look at movie. So Shape of Water will and should.
Will and should Blade Runner 2049. Now here's the thing. The production design and The Shape of Water and Dunkirk were amazing. But what Blade Runner 2049 did with the production design, that film basically took what originally was Ridley Scott's vision and basically they updated with Denis Villeneuve's vision, and I think the world of Blade Runner has never looked as dystopian or as cleaner or as dirty as it has been in the at all.
It should be Star Wars, but it's gonna go to Dunkirk.
This is a great category. It's really hard to pick a winner out of this, but if I really had to pick a winner, I'd like to see Baby Driver, but it's gonna go to Dunkirk, personally.
I hate to copy Lucas, but should Baby Driver, will Dunkirk.
You also copy me too.
You said Star Wars.
I wouldn't mind if Baby Driver won this. I'm just happy to see that an Edgar Wright film was finally nominated for Oscars. That's awesome. But will and should Dunkirk. The sound in that film in general was just, I felt like I was there. And if anything feels like I was there, that should win. So yeah, will and should Dunkirk.
And I'm gonna give the same exact answer. So it should be Star Wars, but it's gonna go Dunkirk. Because Dunkirk is Dunkirk, and Star Wars is Star Wars. I don't know.
Pretty much the same thing. And pretty much my thoughts are gonna be the exact same. I think it's gonna be tough to beat Dunkirk.
The exact same ones. Moving on.
Will and should Dunkirk. Enough said. It's the exact same way as I felt about the other sound category.
I want it to be Baby Driver, but it's gonna go to Dunkirk. Because I think they're just trying to get away from the whole Kevin Spacey bullshit.
I probably would like to see 3 Billboards or Baby Driver win, but it's gonna go to Dunkirk. Just how you make that movie into 3 separate parts, like all coerced together, it just works magically.
What should win is Baby Driver, and what will win is Dunkirk.
I know everyone's been saying Dunkirk should win, but I think will and should Baby Driver. No other film from last year, and yes, I'm gonna say this right now, I thought Dunkirk's editing was unlike anything we'd ever seen. But here's the thing, guys, when it comes to editing in Edgar Wright's films, it's like a gift from God. And honest to God, no other film moved and cut like Baby Driver did last year. The tequila scene is pure proof of that, so will and should Baby Driver.
Blade Runner 2049! Because that looked visually amazing. With the way that the angles were shot and the way that the lighting just made it look like the dystopian future that it was. Will and should.
I'd like to see Blade Runner or Dunkirk win, but it's going to go to Shape of Water. I really honestly think it's going to go to Shape of Water, just for how they filmed the opening scene in general and the last scene in general. It's hard to beat that.
I really liked how Darkest Hour was filmed. I thought that was visually beautiful. Dunkirk, the exact same way. But I think it's going to go to The Shape of Water.
Now I know everybody wants Dunkirk to win, and would I be happy with that? Sure, but will and should Blade Runner. Roger Deakins has been snubbed time and time and time again. The man has been nominated, what, 13, 14 times? It is the man's time. Now I know a lot of people say that cinematography, a lot of the time, it's about how you move the camera, but cinematography is more than just moving the camera. It's about your lighting, it's about the color palettes, it's about the shadowing, it's about the diffusion of your lights in general. And Blade Runner 2049 cinematography was, without a doubt, the best I had seen from last year. Will and should Blade Runner 2049.
I want it to be Shape of Water, but the odds of that winning are drastically low, so it's gonna go to 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
It's tough between Shape of Water. It's a 3-way race between Get Out, Shape of Water, and 3 billboards, but if I realistically had to look at it from my point of view, it's gotta be Get Out. I really think that Get Out, how they made this movie and how it breaks all the horror movie cliches and it becomes a movie of its own. It just blew my mind. Like, and it's probably, I love 3 billboards and Dunkirk, but I just think Get Out has the best original screenplay this year.
What should win is Get Out, because that was like one of the best horror films we've ever seen, like in this past decade, I will say myself. But what will win is 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Will and should 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Martin McDonagh is the master right now. He is the best screenwriter working today. I have always called him the Irish Tarantino, but better than Tarantino. The dude has not made a bad screenplay, and this is a perfect screenplay. Nothing more to say than that. Will and should Martin McFucking-Donna.
I know all of us want to say The Disaster Artist, but it's going to Alex's favorite movie, Call Me By Your Name.
Will and should The Disaster Artist. This is an easy one. It's really hard to bet against it. I love The Disaster Artist. My #1 favorite film in 2017. I want this to get this one. It has to win, or else I'll be very upset.
It's going to be a toss-up between my 2 favorite films of last year, and that was Logan and The Disaster Artist. And this one was very tough for me to choose, but I'm going to go with what... Fuck it. Will and should The Disaster Artist.
Let's see. Oh, God. I'm between Disaster Artist and Logan. I cannot choose, honestly. You be quiet. I wouldn't be mad if either Disaster Artist or Logan won. If either one wins, I'd be happy. But I would love to see Logan win this. Because isn't it amazing that finally a comic book film has been nominated for a screenplay category in general?
Damn right.
But something tells me that Disaster Artist will take it. I feel like it will, but honest to God, if Logan takes it, what I think should win, I will be so happy. I'll be ecstatic. But I feel like Disaster Artist is going to take it.
Will and should Coco. The other 4 don't count.
Where's Captain Underpants and the Lego Batman movie? This is my pit. Like, when we do this Oscar show, this is gonna be my piss spray because we know Will's gonna win. It's gonna be Coco.
Will and should Coco.
Will and should Coco. Enough said.
Well, Sam Rockwell's been winning. Even though I want it to be William Dafoe. It's not going to that because nobody ever saw Florida Project, so it's gotta be Sam Rockwell.
It's a tight race between Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell, but I gotta give it to Sam Rockwell. Just how he could play a character that's so inept at times, but then completely does a 180, has characters of a 180. It makes you love the character. Even though you hate him at first, it makes you love him at the end, and you can't go on with that. Like, realistically, you can't.
I liked Woody Harrelson in 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think he should win, but I think it's going to go to Sam Rockwell because he was the much better performer in that movie.
I would have loved if Michael Shannon was in there for Shape of Water, but that's just me. Will and should Sam Rockwell. That man is one of the most underrated actors working today, and to see him finally getting recognized for his work, it makes me ecstatic. But yeah, will and should Sam Rockwell. I haven't seen them this good ever. Love that man. I love this movie.
Will and should Allison Janney because she's the only one that's been winning in that category.
I like to see Octavia Spencer win it, but it's gonna go to Allison Janney. She's been winning all the awards, but I'd love to see Octavia Spencer win it.
That's a tough one. Actually, no, it's not. I think will and should Allison Janney for I, Tonya, because her as Tonya Harding's mom was like, wow, it was powerful almost. So I think will and should Allison Janney for I, Tonya.
Now, for what I want to win, I'm going to go against everyone and say Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird. I adored Lady Bird, and I thought Laurie Metcalf gave a phenomenal performance as Saoirse Ronan's character's mother. However, from everything I've been hearing about Allison Janney, I feel like she's going to take it. I need to see I, Tonya, but I think Allison Janney is going to take it. But yeah, what I want to win, Laurie Metcalf, but what I think is going to win, you be quiet. Laurie Metcalf, and what I think is going to win at this point is Allison Janney. I need to see I, Tonya.
Well, I want it to be Sally Hawkins because anybody that can act just being a mute is tremendous. But Frances McDormand is obviously the pick that everybody's going for. So, Frances McDormand. But they could surprise us.
Overrated Meryl Streep. But anyway, my pick is Will and Should Frances McDormand. Enough said. It's her award.
I will admit, I actually thought this was Meryl Streep's best performance in years. And I do agree that she should have been nominated for this. I loved Margot Robbie and I, Tonya. That's my girl. Stay away from her. But I think it's going to go to Frances McDormand for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Now, while I wouldn't mind seeing Sally Hawkins win because she did give a hell of a performance for a person that couldn't speak whatsoever. However, Will and Should Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards. This is her year. And I have said this repeatedly, but her performance gives a whole new term to Hell Hath No Fury Like a Woman Scorned. She was a revelation, and she's already giving great performances, but this was, I think, is her performance. So yeah, Will and Should, Frances McDormand. Go Frances.
James Franco.
Yes.
Yes!
No, Gary Oldman, Will and Should, because no other actor in that category made me cry the way that he made me cry. That speech at the end was just, God!
I'd love to see Daniel Kaluuya win it so badly. I would love to see him win it just because I think he would deserve more, but it's gonna go to Gary Oldman. You've been following the Oscars, you've been following all the shows, it's gonna go into Gary Oldman. And if James Franco was nominated, I would have voted for James Franco, but it's gonna go to Gary Oldman, unfortunately. Even though I didn't see Darkest Hour, I just think that Daniel Kaluuya was my pick for Best Actor of the Year, other than Franco, but that's what I can say.
I think Michael Shannon should have been nominated for this for Shape of Water, honestly, as well as James Franco. But Will and Should Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour.
Here is the thing. I would not mind Daniel Day-Lewis winning this, because let's face it, the man, he's the best actor working today. He really is, and this was unfortunately his final performance. Supposedly it is. But Will and Should Gary Oldman. I have not this man, how I just described Daniel Day-Lewis, this man pulled a Daniel Day-Lewis in Darkest Hour. That whole speech of, "You did not negotiate a tiger when your hand is on its mouth!" That one scene should get him the win.
Will and Should Guillermo del Toro. No other director can make your actors hug him every time they see him on the IMDb front page, the way that he has done. Plus, everybody speaks highly of him when it came to directing this movie. He was the ultimate actor's director. He knew what he wanted, he got his vision, and my God, did that movie look great 100% all the way.
As much as I'd love to see Jordan Peele win it, as much as I want to see him win it, my pick is going to be Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk. I think it's time for him to really win it. I know Guillermo del Toro, it's hard to really make a movie like that and not have Guillermo del Toro on it. But Christopher Nolan, what he did this year, it's time to give him the award. He's been snubbed so many times for Inception. It's finally time to give him the award.
It should be Christopher Nolan, but I think it's going to go to Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water.
Now, I have a feeling that this will go to Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water, because when you look at this film, it would not have worked without Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro has a certain way of making you sympathetic for these types of stories and conflicts. However, what I want to win so badly more than anything is Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk. Like Guillermo del Toro with Shape of Water, no one else could have made Dunkirk than Christopher Nolan. The way how this man sets up all of his shots, how he stages the action, how we edit the scenes together, even though the editing is totally different. But anyways, it's his time, like with Roger Deakins for Blade Runner. Christopher Nolan, he should have won ages ago, especially for Inception. But I feel like it's his time. But I wouldn't be upset if Shape of Water wins, Guillermo del Toro wins. I think he's going to win, but what I want to win is Christopher Nolan. Give the man his Oscar already. Please give him the Oscar.
Okay. This is a rivalry between Shape of Water versus 3 Billboards. That is the rivalry going into this ceremony. But because of everything that's been going on with 3 Billboards as of late, with all the racism talk, something tells me that's gonna happen, even though all these other awards voted for it. Shape of Water looks like to be the top choice to win this one, with Dunkirk being number 2 and then 3 Billboards being number 3.
I want to see Dunkirk win so badly, but if you have to give it to a film this year, I would love to see Three Billboards win for Best Picture. If I had to rank my picture, it would be my top 4 be Three Billboards, Dunkirk, Get Out, and Shape of Water.
All right, I actually saw all these, so I'm gonna rank them. The ones I think are least likely to win to most likely to win, and you'll find out my number 1 that way. Starting out with least likely, I think Phantom Thread, Call Me by Your Name, Lady Bird, Get Out, Darkest Hour, The Post, let's see, Dunkirk, Shape of Water, and my number 1 pick to win is Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
There are 3 films in this category I can see taking it. I wouldn't mind if Shape of Water took it, because that is a special movie. It really is. I would love to see Dunkirk winning. Love to see that film winning. But my pick to win for Best Picture is Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I love that film to death. The more I talk about it, the more I wish that film would have gone higher on my top 10 list, but War for the Planet of the Apes and Blade Runner are there for a reason. Three Billboards, I felt like, again, it felt like it was a perfect movie. There was nothing wrong with it, in my words. I saw nothing wrong with it. Will and should Three Billboards, but if Shape of Water and Dunkirk happen to win it, I wouldn't mind it. But I want Three Billboards the very most. Will and should, Gilmore and McDonough. Alright guys, and those are our picks for what we think should win and what we think is going to win for the Oscar nominations this year. Guys, thank you so much for watching our predictions, our picks. Please comment out, let us know below what your picks and your predictions are, what you think is going to win and what you think should win for each category. And I'm sorry we didn't get to every single category, but I feel like we got to the ones that are, anyways, the most important ones. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and I'm also on Snapchat. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the usernames are in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed the Putnam Crew's predictions and picks for the 90th edition of the Oscars. If you guys want to see these again next year, maybe, or if you guys want to see more prediction videos just like this one, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe, like I said before, to see more prediction videos just like this one. If you guys want to see my review of Annihilation, please click right here. And if you guys want to see my review of Black Panther, please click right here. And until the next prediction video or video in general, I will see you guys next time.